Okay, so class, let me start a little bit recapitulation. Okay, class, basically we are in the parami of diligence. Okay, so in parami of diligence, not many people, they can really do what Shakyamuni do. So, I mean, Nagarjuna suggests that this type of people, the lack of faith, and they're considered lazy people, they can choose the easy way. So we just finished one easy way, we call it as the Pure Land. Well, Pure Land actually included, I mean, the Western Pure Land, one more is the Eastern Pure Land. So we finished discuss the Western Pure Land. Today we will cover the Eastern Pure Land. So I think we can finish the Eastern Pure Land for today. Whereas for a Western Pure Land, maybe I can try to bring back a little bit historical background. Yeah, Mr. Long, any question you want to ask first?
Yeah, Sifu, there is Western Pure Land and Eastern Pure Land. Is there Northern and Southern Pure Land?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Long actually got really, not only Northern and the Southern, actually they got a middle land also, you know. There's a Pure Land from the 10 direction according to the Mahayana text. That's true, you know. You remember, if the people, you chant from the Thai people, you will chant Wu Fang Fo, right? So meaning to say Western, Eastern, Southern, and Northern, Bao Shen Fo, and also then they're represented with a different color. Remember, God, actually God, you know. You do. Most people do the chanting. They don't understand really the meaning, because basically anti to the chanting, the preference. Actually, you can look for all the reference. All the reference is available because the verses is created by the monk who really highly educated. So they really refer many things. So they conclude they got 5 directions. So Mr. Long really got the land. Do you need it or not? Do you need it? The different direction, Mr. Long. Do you need it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You can WhatsApp us.
Yeah. Because you do the chanting, so you know what you do. You chant, right? And they got the different color as a representation, you see. Let me show you. We call it as a Wu Fang Fo, but I can show you, I think maybe it's a Sanskrit words. It doesn't matter. Okay, Wu Fang Fo, let me show you. Okay, the reference is from the Tibetan. It's from the not the Tibetan. We call it as from the secret school. Okay, I wish to show you is the Sanskrit. Okay, please copy down. Okay, this is the middle. Middle direction. Is the Vairojana.
5 directions.
Vairojana. Please copy down. This is the middle land. Vairojana.
Tibetan secret society.
Okay, so this is the Vairojana. Okay, so this is the middle. Then next we go. For the Eastern, it could be it could be a medicine Buddha for the Eastern, but it could be Aksoba also. Aksobia. It could be Aksobia, either Western pure medicine Buddha or Aksobia. So Aksobia meaning to say non-motion. You can just bracket the English. No motion. 不动佛了。Sally, do you remember the chanting at Elena? 即受立东方。Remember this chanting? Elena, you got the impression, yes. Basically, if you do the Fa Hui, they used to chant it. I like the ringtone actually quite a lot. If you like it, I can chant for you later on. After too long I didn't chant. I'm missing the chanting sometimes, you know, because I do the chanting. I see, Oh, I just do the teaching. I don't do chanting. Actually, I like the chanting, you know. Sometimes I will cry during the chanting. My tears will come down due to the melody, you know. Elena, Elena, have you ever experienced that? So next time maybe we can organize a chanting so we all cry together. No. Hey, actually, it will cause you addiction, one, you know. Next time you want to go again, you want to feel the cry. Actually, the cry, the tears down, is the, how to say, it's the excitement in the brain, you know. It's just similar. Once you listen to Michael Jackson's song or whose song, you start crying. It's the same only. So they got some skills to make your brain excited. But you may show with tears down or maybe pimples, ghost pimples. It depends on individual. But Sally, you didn't experience crying, right? You don't know. So it's Elena and me only. Okay. I think Mr. Leong is laughing. He is quite different, Mr. Leong. Okay. So let me show you again. Okay, then Western Pure Land. No. So this is a Norton. Norton, the name is okay. It's a Ratna Sambhawa. This is the Norton Buddha. Norton Buddha. This represents the secret school. Secret school. Okay, let me check you the meaning. Okay. Yeah, 宝生佛. 宝生佛 means the precious jewel. Please bracket precious jewel. So let me show you again. So just now the middle is a Vairojana. Let me check for you the meaning of Vairojana mean what's. Okay, class, for Vairojana means the sun. Sun. Vairojana means the sun. Okay. Class, in addition, this Vairojana Buddha is the most common Buddha in Japan Buddhism. For Japan Buddhism, there's a few schools who is very common and popular in Japan Buddhism. One of them is the secret school. They are Eastern secret, you know. So this is the Pirujana for in Japan. This is the Vairojana who is the most popular Buddha. For us, if you've got something we need it, you see, we are begging Guan Yin, right? But for Japan Buddhism, they're different. They will beg for Vairojana. So they're different. Okay. But there still is a tantric. It's still a tantric Buddhism. Then one more is this. So let me show you a little bit. Sorry. Okay. So what does it mean? Tantric Buddhism in Japan, sometimes they call them as East Tantric or Chinese Tantric. Why? Because they are more pure. Chinese and Eastern Tantric, they are pure because they have excluded the yoga sects. This is the different. Why? Because they are without integration with the yoga sects, they are more pure. They're considered more pure. So if you go to Tibetan Buddhism, you will see something like that, the picture. So this is the show different direction of the Buddha. So class, take a look. Okay, so roughly let you know. So next time, if you got opportunity to Japan, just take a look to the Vairojana. Lastly is the Norton. So Norton Buddha is an Amoga Siddhi. Amoga Siddhi.
Not Southern, Sifo.
Southern.
I thought Northern was Ratna Sambhaya.
Oh, sorry, I think I make a mistake. Ratna Sambhaya, wait. Ratna Sambhaya is a Southern, sorry. I make a mistake. Ratna Sambhaya is a Northern place. Okay. So the Southern should be this. No, the Northern should be this Amoga Siddhi, Northern. Oh, got reference. I don't show you. I think it's possible you can check it out. Let me show you one. Let's see what is the meaning of 不空成就佛. The meaning is Okay, it means the accomplishment of wisdom. Okay, let's just say just simple bracket will be enough already. 不空成就 mean accomplishment of our wisdom. Okay, so class, we can just experiment. Let's try to have a check. I think I prefer check the viral jhana. So that you want to go further, you can further. Okay, so this is a viral jhana. Yes, Vairojana also Mahavairojana Sanskrit. It's a celestial Buddha who is often interpreted in texts like Abhidhammatasangha Sutra. It's the Dhammakaya of the historical Gautama Buddha. Vairojana is not to be confused with the Vairocana Mahabali, style of Vairocana. You got all the information. So class, you can go further by yourself later on. Okay, so class, we already finished the Western Pure Land. Maybe I just want to remind you a little bit. Basically, you all, it seems Western Pure Land is the sutra we firstly met. Well, anyway, let's see how. If people ask you, where is the Western Pure Land compiled? According to the history of Buddhism, it is not compiled in India, you know, class. Where is it? Actually, Western Pure Land, I mean, the for sure Jing is compiled. The place to compile is the Kashmir and Jammu. It's in the Kashmir, and it is compiled in the Fourth Council. Okay, class. Basically, the first, second, third council, okay, compiling of the sutra was happening in India. But the Fourth Council is in Kashmir. Why? Because the split of the schism. Because once after Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Parinibbana, so all brother, they quarrel each other. They disagree with each other. Basically, especially the big school, Sarvastivada, they're all immigrants. Okay, so they all move on. They move on to the Kashmir, and from Kashmir they start compile their own Abhidhamma. So Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, for so Jing, they are all originated. They are all compiled is the Kashmir. So you have to roughly know. Okay, have to know a little bit history. Especially Mr. Leong, you used to travel to the Theravada. Maybe they will deny. They say, oh, this is not origin Indian, it's not very origin. So you have to know more facts, especially historical facts to support yourself. Get it, Mr. Leong? Okay, next, let's take a look. Now we go to the Eastern Pure Land. Okay, Elena, your turn to read, please.
For those who cannot renounce worldly pleasures but wish to attain enlightenment, the medicine Buddha vowed compassionately to provide a pure land in the east. As for the pure land of the easy path, after proclaiming Amitabha Buddha's most blissful pure land, Shakyamuni Buddha also proclaimed the medicine Buddha's pure, crystal pure land in the eastern region to suit another type of fundamental nature. The doctrine of Amitabha Buddha's most blissful pure land rejects the reality of this present world. Because Lady Vaidehi experienced the suffering of this world deeply, she did not want to be reborn in this world. So the Buddha told her about the most blissful pure land. Those preaching the doctrine of the Amitabha's Pure Land also say If one does not reject this world, one will not be reborn in the most blissful land. This is a teaching that rejects the human world and emphasizes rebirth after death. There are other kinds of people for whom a different way is more suitable. Those people who are presently in this world and who have healthy bodies and harmonious families, live in wealthy and powerful countries, and enjoy world peace are not inclined to reject such things. To embrace these types of beginners who cannot renounce worldly pleasures, and in order to enable them to direct themselves towards body, Shakyamuni Buddha also proclaimed the lesson Buddha's pure land.
Okay, thank you so much. After reading, you have to off your mic, because even though you do the writing, you can hear very clear, or will be recorded down. Mr. Leung, try to raise hand again if you finish. Raise hand by Zoom. Very good. So, Mr. Leung, you just raise your hand. I know you've got a question to ask. It is very good communication way. Yeah, Sally, can I ask you a question? In what situation you will chant the Eastern Pure Land? In what situation you will go to chant Eastern Pure Land?
Now, at this type of situations that we are facing.
Situation, you mean the COVID case, right? Okay. You chant the Eastern Pure Land for the dead, or you chant the Western Pure Land for the patient, or you chant the Eastern Pure Land for yourself?
Actually, for everybody.
Everybody. You mean including the dead?
Yeah.
Including the dead.
All beings, all beings.
All beings. Okay. How about Elena? In what situation you will chant the Eastern Pure Land instead of Western Pure Land? You chant the medicine Buddha rather than Amitabha. In what situation you will do the chanting? From your experience, yes.
Usually, it's people are sick.
All right. You see, immediately you got the impression it's sick, right? Okay. But for the sick people, we seldom chant Amitabha, right? If people pass away, basically people will chant Western Pure Land, right? It seems like a culture, right? Okay. Class, actually, basically, the medicine Buddha not only for the sick only. If according to the sutra, it can really help in many circumstances. But basically aiming for the people who want to live in the world. If you got any unfulfilled needs, including if you're involved in a court case, maybe income tax department come for you. Yeah, all this type of thing, you know. All this type of thing. Maybe you want to become a man. Sally, have you ever think about to become a man in your next life?
I don't really look forward to next life. I want to attain Buddhahood.
Actually, this perception is common in Indian. Why? Because 1,000 years ago, the status of women are very low. in some sutra, they say, you must from a female body and change to the man body for the Buddhahood. Okay, in the very early stage Buddhism, but later on to the Mahayana, they say no already. Because it seems in the Mahayana stages, we can see the equality between man and woman, layman and the monk. We can see all these things appear. I think there may be some revolutionary involved. You can say it's quite high end. Am I right? Quite high end, 1,000 years ago, women's status can fight equal. And you have to know it's in India, India, even until now, most of the women are considered inferior product, you see. Now in India, you see. So that's why if people want to fight the equality, they will look for Hinduism. They must look for Buddhism. You just really, I mean, if you go to take a look to the politics in India. If your party emphasize to fight the right for equality, they must go to Buddhism. They cannot go to Hinduism because Hinduism itself is already a strong discrimination between the races, between the quota, and between the sex. A lot of discrimination inside this religion, you see. So that's why this is everything, whatever you can name it, you need it. So Eastern Pure Land to really fulfill. I think nowadays also same. If let's say here it's not Muslim, if it's here it's not Malaysia, it's not. If most of the population is not predominantly Muslim, I think Eastern Pure Land Dharma will be workable nowadays. Because people really not enough. So according to statistics, 1.6 million people in EPF, they're saving less than 1,000. Wow, it's look horrible, you see. So meaning to say a lot of meeting in Malaysia. So this type of this type of a Dharma door very suit to this type of people. Okay. Then let's take a look. So class now, according here, we mentioned if you those who reject the human world, and for those who aiming for a healthy body, harmonious family, all this, so the Eastern Pure Land is workable. Okay, yeah, Sally, your turn. The Medicine Buddha Pure Land.
The Medicine Buddha Pure Land is in the east, which symbolizes growth, whereas Amitabha Buddha Pure Land is in the west, which symbolizes retirement. To liberate the dead, Chinese Buddhists chant the name of Amitabha Buddha to disperse calamity and prolong life. They chant the name of Medicine Buddha. This amplify reveals the difference between the pleasures of future life and the worldly pleasures of the present one. The sutra says that in the causal ground, the crystal-like King Medicine Buddha made 12 great vows with great compassion. His aim was to develop knowledge, to promote enterprises, to save and heal those with bodily defects, poverty, illnesses, and helplessness, to enable people to enjoy abundant clothing and food, and to keep people from believing in deviant teachers and non-Buddhists, to prevent people from breaking the law and being tortured for doing so, to bring equality between men and women, and to help all sentient beings become Buddhas. Having such vows and deeds, the pure crystal Pure Land arose in the Eastern world with purity and solemnity, similar to that of most blissful world. With this Pure Land doctrine, the Medicine Buddha embraces and protects sentient beings' faith so that they might attain greater benefits as humans or divine being reborn in this Pure Land and eventually attain enlightenment. In the past, when the national preceptor Yulin came across the Medicine Buddha Sutra, he praised it as supremely skillful teaching. He knew that few people are able to renounce the world and that most have little affinity with Amitabha Pure Land. Through the Medicine Buddha's Pure Land, doctrine, these people can be reborn in the Pure Land and become Buddhas. So Yulin is full of praise. In the world, there are cranes that carry one to Yangzhou, and there is also the boat of Tathagata's virtue that can carry one to the other shore.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, class, let's take a look and see how. Here for the Western Pure Land, okay, one is the East, one is the West. East represent the growth, and West represent retirement, you see how. Class, if according, class, the way we understand the Western and Eastern Pure Land, because, we come to the temple and then we do the chanting, and from the sutra itself, we understand how. So we believe that maybe okay, Eastern Pure Land, Western Pure Land is from the, how should I put it? We are using Earth as the compass. Am I right? But actually, if you travel out from the Earth, we got East and West. We don't see it, right? So some scholars, when they study the history, they claim that East and West by the really direction in the Earth. Some they might claim that, you see, if it's in India, you see, this is where is the how to say our Buddhism flourishing. So Eastern, some they claim that Eastern may be this part, Western may be this part. So they say that Western is represent Afghanistan, Pakistan, Eastern might be this part. So some scholars suggest this. Why? Because they notice that Western Pure Land belief is quite common in the area of Afghanistan, Pakistan. So since they quite hard for them to believe where got Eastern, Western if you travel out from the earth. So they suggest this. Okay, never mind. We just know this. Sometimes they got some logic behind. So we know that this type of perception is common in scholastic study. Then besides this class, let's take a look. Here, according for the Eastern Pure Land, for the Medicine Buddha, they got the 12 great wealth. So number one is to promote enterprises. So Elena, see whether your boss want the fund investment company bigger or not. So you can ask her to chant your Eastern Pure Land. To publish his investment company. Okay, the next, then you see eradicate the poverty, illness, and enjoy abundant clothes and the food, you see. And one more good thing you see is keeping the people from believing in the deviant teacher, see. So it seems that at that time, people are quite frightening with the deviant teacher. So the chanting of the Eastern Pure Land can help in this way also. Okay, one question. You haven't been in Eastern Pure Land. How do you build the faith to the Eastern Pure Land? Mr. Leong, why do you believe Eastern Pure Land even though you've never been there before?
Believe in the sutta, the agama.
So the belief purely from the sutta, right? Okay, because we believe that the words from the sutta is originated from Shakyamuni. So that's the faith we build up now, right? Okay. Well, nowadays, some people, there's one guy who is the principal of the Taiwan University. This is the guy. Okay. He have done some experiment. He go to ask some kids below 12 years old and try to train them to open the third eye. Okay. So this batch of the kid once they hand to touch, okay, I mean some words. If you fold with the number, they're able to say, oh, this is what number. They're able to say it. Okay. So accidentally, some people they just play for fun. They write Buddha in the paper. So accidentally, the kid all said, oh, I saw a bright light only. I don't see any words. So they open, oh, that is the Buddha, you see. And then they put Guan Yin. So all the kids say, the kid who touched the word, they say, oh, I saw Guan Yin, you see. So some of the experiment with the medicine Buddha, they are able to travel to the Pure Land of the medicine Buddha. I read the book before, see it not. So that is the experiment. Have I ever show you the discovery video clip regards this experiment? Do I show you all before? No, so I let you watch a little bit, just very short time to build up the confidence to this type of belief. Okay, so just enjoy the video clip. Wait,
The engineering faculty of the Taiwan National.
Oh, you didn't share screen.
yes, okay, I'm sharing now. Let's take a look.
The engineering faculty of the Taiwan National University. Here, Professor Li Shenzhen has since 1999 been conducting scientific research into the phenomenon of ESP, extrasensory perception. In his experiments, Professor Lee's subjects use only their fingertips to read Chinese characters, written on pieces of paper or aluminum foil. These are then placed inside two opaque black bags. Professor Lee measures fluctuations in body temperature, blood flow, and one of the subjects, a young girl, was able to identify the hidden characters with a remarkable 90% accuracy. The experiments continued. But this time, the professor used a Chinese character for a religious figure, Buddha. The results were intriguing.
两人跑出来，我们两人在微笑，还听到有大笑的声音，看到他们两个在我们实验室跑来跑去，还有小朋友看到有寺庙，看到有这个清幽，就说出现了很多奇异，让我们极为震撼的意象。它不再是纸上的字，而是看到另外一个世界。
Professor Lee hypothesized that it was the subject's extrasensory perception that allowed her to see the images related to each hidden character, giving her access to another realm.
我们从现在聊的物质宇宙之外，还有一个世界。所以我们就在想呢，我们可不可以跟那个世界的神灵来同行？
The science behind Professor Lee's hypothesis appears evident in these MRI brain scans of his test subject. According to Lee, they show a considerable increase in brain activity whenever the characters hidden in the bags were of a religious nature.
沿着你的后段，一般的认知科学的变化呢，最多是3到5%， 40 times higher， 它是40倍大。
Professor Lee believes the answer to the mystery of pattern divination may be explained by his findings. A spiritual medium with finely tuned ESP is able to bridge the divide between the material world and the spirit world, therefore accessing the intelligence of that realm.
那么你可以随便，这不是他的回答，是来自另外一个世界。当然是让你提升了，就说让你在科学上认为这个另外一个世界是存在的。但是他所讲的话呢，我们还是没有办法验证，我们还是需要有独立的其他的方式来验证他讲话的全部。我想弗朗也是一样。
The engineering faculty of the Taiwan
Yes, applause to the video clip. Good lah, huh? So at least we need some scientific proof to prove the religions. So it helps. Some people they need it. Quite heavy rain now. How about your place? Downpour also. Oh, very heavy. Oh no, Elena, you are in Serdang. We are close. Area close. Oh, our area close. See? Very heavy rain. Elena, no need to collect your clothes. No need.
Huh?
No need to collect
No,
your
I
clothes.
put in a,
Put in now. We are very heavy. See?
forgot to collect a laundry bag that let it take a bath.
Let me take a bath. Okay. So you mean from wet to dry, from dry to wet, and then from wet to dry again? Okay. Hey, sorry, a little bit crazy. Let me have a look first.
Eastern direction.
From 10 direction, the ring. Okay, yes, yeah. He praised that it's a supremely skillful teaching. Why? Because very few people are able to renounce the word. Okay, now we finish. We go to the 4 power. Okay, maybe.
Sorry, Sifu. Sorry, just now you mentioned that Eastern Pure Land is the Ashobha, what no motion. But now we are talking about Master Buddha Pure Land in the Eastern Pure Land.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
No, it's a different. Because we got 2 reference. Some sutra mention is Aksoba. Some mention is the medicine Buddha. We got 2 way of teaching.
Okay, thank you, Sifu.
Okay, welcome. So we continue with the 4 powers. We finish. Do you hear the thunderstorm? It can stop anytime. because here is a very heavy thunderstorm area and can stop electricity anytime. Okay, Mr. Leong, your turn to read, please. The four powers.
The four powers: superior understanding, strong will, joy, and rest are the four powers. If one cultivates them, one can easily be diligent. Timid and lazy sentient beings dare not directly enter the great will with diligence, but they can enter it indirectly by means of the easy path of skillful means and the skillful method of the faithful vow. Actually, if one is skillful, it is not difficult to attain diligence. One should cultivate the four powers. First, the power of superior understanding. Superior understanding implies profound belief and understanding of the principle of cause and effect, of the karmic results of good or evil, and of the virtues of the bodhisattva's deeds and the consequences of violating them. Through deep belief and understanding, one generates a joyful desire to abandon all evil and achieve all virtues. This joyful desire gives rise to diligence and enables one to practice. Thus, it is said, aspiration is based on belief and diligence is based on aspiration. The more profound one's belief and understanding, the more diligent in one's practice. Second, the power of a strong will. Some people casually practice this or that without determination and perseverance, and eventually develop bad habits and accomplish nothing. So one must be cautious. Once one has started to practice, one should proceed with the beginning to the end without giving up. Only in this way can one develop firm willpower. One should also respect and strengthen oneself when practicing. The great deeds of becoming a Buddha has to be done through one's own effort, not through reliance on another. Liberation can be only attained through self-cultivation. The root of the problem of Ananda failure in the Surangama assembly was his reliance on others. By affirming one's ability to practice and to subdue afflictions, one takes on the heavy responsibility of bodhisattva deeds until the goal is reached.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Leong.
Third, the power. Thank you. You're welcome.
Elena, can you continue the third and the fourth? Because we have to explain all together. Please, third.
Third, the power of joy. In the course of practice, one is full of joy of the Dharma. One tastes this delicious food, but is not satiated. The more one practices, the more one is interested. Only by this diligent practice can one advance deeper and further. 4. The power of rest. If one is physically and mentally tired, one should take a rest. Otherwise, one may become weary, which will impede one's cultivation. After having accomplished some virtue, one can take a short rest, but one should not be content. If one cultivates these 4 powers, in time, diligence will flow constantly like a stream.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Leong raised hand by Zoom once you finish, Mr. Leong. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Leong. You can put down your hand already. Okay, class. Basically, once we talk about persistency, there will be 4 elements involved. Okay. Well, I think Bodhisattva is a great thing. Let's go back to our career. Okay, like Elena, I think most of us here, we are persistent in our career more than 20 years. Nearly everybody here. Am I right? Elena said it. We are more than 20 years. We persisted in one career. You see, once we can persist in one thing, number one, you must have the understanding in the first place. Meaning to say that you believe what you do is right. It has to be like that. Bodhisattva is the same. You must have a right understanding of the Dharma. You believe that this is the right thing. For example, you see like you and I are you see like what happened to the Xuan Zhuang Xuan Zhuang, according to the history since in order to get the true Dharma, he tried to travel from Xi'an to India and spend 17 years travel to India and go back. He spent 17 years. Through the journey, he has to cross over the desert. A lot of suffering, especially the journey passing through the desert, you see. So meaning to say that if without the belief that he is able to success, it's quite hard for him to persist and endure to the difficult. See or not? So in the first place, you have to believe. Okay, number one. Okay. Then the second is a determination. You must determine to do something. How do we know that you have the determinations? So let's take a look. You see, class. Basically, besides the understanding, you must have a strong will. So the strong will, you will know that there's a need. You see, according to the here, you see why. Basically, let me see first. Okay. Okay. In five roots. Okay, according to the Dharma, we call it the Xing, Jing, Nian, Ding, Hui. Xing number one is the faith. Second is the diligence. Okay, Xing, Jing, and Nian. Then is the mindfulness of Xing, Jing, Nian, Ding. Then the samadhi. So meaning to say that without the belief, it's quite hard for you to being hardworking. Okay. So meaning to say that like Shakyamuni, he believed that he can become the Buddhahood under the Buddha body trait for the vigorous. They also like Xuan Zhuang, once they know that they are able to get the sutra, even though they travel very difficult, so they will have a determination to complete that task. Okay. So number one, you have to believe for yourself. All right. Then secondly, you must have a strong will. You see. Second, you must have a strong will. The strong will meaning to say that you are persistent from the beginning to the end. Okay, so that is the meaning for the strong will. The third, you must have the joy, meaning to say that, you see, if now everybody here, we persistent to our area more than 20 years. If without joy, I don't think you will continue. Like Elena, even though you work, your job is tough, your task is difficult also, but you get the joy during traveling, right? So you see, you go to traveling, and at the same time, you travel is a rest. You rest and you enjoy at the same time, then you come back, you work again, even though you work very hard, but since you got time to rest and enjoy, then you keep on with the career. Am I right? You see or not? So this is very important. As for Sally, she is already rest for goods already. She rests for goods, you see. But anyway, the way I see, Sally, I know, even though, to persist in one job is not easy. Where is your joy in your previous job, and when do you rest actually?
I also rest, I also travel.
I also travel. Same, you see or not? It seems like everybody, because in Malaysia, and in Asia, we seldom enjoy our job. Not like Western people. Some Western people, they really enjoy their job, and then they enjoy the job itself is their joy, and then they will have a rest, have a holiday. So we can say that the life quality for them is better than us, and they have a more reason for them to persistent in their career. The Bodhisattva path, the way I see, is the same. If you don't really enjoy the Bodhisattva, you don't believe it, you don't enjoy, and once you feel tired, there's no opportunity for you to rest, you will give it up easily. Am I right? You give it up easily. So meaning to say that in order to persistent to diligence, according to the author and the sutra, it doesn't request us just work until mad. They say you need the rest and you need the joy. The way we see in Japan, why the committed suicide rate is so high, the way we see it is because it seems that they don't really enjoy and they're forced to do so. Why? Because for survival, you see, for survival. Here, of course, Elena said it, you need to survive. Quite sure everybody work for survival. Quite hard to get a job, but you can rest and you can. After some time of hard working, you got some joy to redeem it, so you can persistent to it. See or not? I think happened to Mr. Leong also. Yeah, anything you want to add, Mr. Leong? Yes. On the mic, please, Mr. Leong.
Sifu. Liberation can only be attained through self-cultivation. Then the root of the problem of Ananda's failure in the Surangama assembly was his reliance on others. What is this reliance on others that Ananda has?
Oh, okay. What happened to Ananda? Ananda thought that he always with the Shakyamuni. So Ananda is very good at memorizing all the verses. So he thought, oh, I don't need to cultivate. I can rely on Buddha. But one day he go out to Pindabat. There's one woman. The name is what was the name of the woman? Try to lure him by using the spell. So finally, Ananda almost broke the precept. You see, at that time, almost broke the precept. So Manjushri got used the Surangama mantra and go to help him. So Ananda realized that he always thought that, oh, I'm always with the Shakyamuni. I just fully rely on him. So it proved that it is wrong. You shouldn't do that. You have to rely on yourself. See. So here it shows what? It shows you have to be always rely yourself, but not realize others. It's not realistic by realize others. See. But for here, we relies on the dharma. So you see, If let's say one day, when people lazy and cannot persistent with one thing, one task, so it is not hard for us to evaluate. Maybe he doesn't have joy, he doesn't have time to rest, okay, and maybe he lost the determination and he lost the willpower. So that must be one of the reasons, or more than two, to make people give up the task. There must be something. You see it not? So wherever success, no matter in what field, same only. You must have this four things in order to success. Yeah, Mr. Leong, some more question?
Yeah, Sifu, in other words, Ananda has the wrong understanding lah.
You can say so. It's a wrong understanding. So let me show you the sentence. Yeah. Let's take a look. You see, this is Ananda. Okay. Yeah. Second, the power of the strong will. Let me see first. Liberation can only be attained by true self. The roots of the problem, by affirming one will practice to subdue affection. One takes the heavy respect for subdue until the goal is reached. Yeah. You see, okay. Yeah. You see, Mr. Leong, according to sentence, he say, we have to respect the strengthen oneself when practicing. Meaning to say that from beginning to the end, we have to be persistent to our own strength, not always relies on others. So from here, the author relates to the Ananda, because Ananda not really rely on himself. Once we talk about the diligence, you have to rely on yourself. See or not? So that is why this sentence quote here. Okay, so this four thing is quite realistic. So a class, you can try to ask yourself, are you always changing your dharma method? From Theravada to Mahayana, from Western Pure Land to Eastern Pure Land. If it happened to you, you have to think four of this. There must be something wrong with these four elements. It may make you keep on changing your method of cultivation. Okay, so from here, we go to the rest already. We go to the general comment on the final two parami. Okay, Mr. Leong, your turn to read all the superior virtue. Mr. Leong, on your mic, please.
Yeah, it's on. General comments on the final two paramitas. Verse 144. All the superior virtues of the three vehicles come from concentration and wisdom. Dhyana, or unperturbed abstraction, is sometimes equated with meditation, which is another name for concentration. Prajna, or wisdom, is also called intelligence. In the successful practice of the Sravakas and in the Bodhisattva's deeds, concentration and wisdom correspond with one another without any separation. This is called the dual practice of cessation and contemplation, and the equality of concentration and wisdom. The Sravakas and Bodhisattvas Dhamma therefore usually equates the concentration of dhyana and samadhi with the concentration connected with wisdom. For example, in the Sravakas Dhamma, there is the empty samadhi, the abstract and extraordinary jhana, and so on. While in the great wheel, there is the surangama samadhi, the Tathagata dhyana, and so forth. There are differences between concentration and wisdom with regard to the beginning of practice and their special functions. However, in the three superior studies of the Sravaka Dhamma, for example, they are the superior studies of both the mind, concentration, and wisdom. In the six paramitas of the great vehicle, they are the paramitas of both dhyana and prajna. In the terms of practice, concentration and wisdom are often called cessation and contemplation respectively, and these two are different. Practitioners of the great view should be certain of the characteristics of concentration and wisdom. Otherwise, they will confuse dhyana and wisdom with wisdom, confuse attaining the fourth dhyana with attaining the fourth fruition or arahantship, and attaining the virtues of concentration with attaining wisdom, and becoming a Buddha.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Leong, I should pronounce jhana, and this should be pronounced prajna, okay, more accurate pronunciation. Okay. So this is the Sanskrit terms actually.
Yeah, prajna and panya.
Jhana is pronounced jhana. Okay.
Jhana, yeah.
This was a nya. Baba nyonya is this word nya. Okay, class, let's take a look. Now, since we already finished the parami of the diligence, now we go to it's the samadhi and also the wisdom. For this part, he tried to let us know broadly the difference between, the samadhi and also the jhana. Okay, wisdom and the jhana. Okay, class, basically, in order to avoid confusion, you remember just now we highlight the word cessation and contemplation, right? So this word actually, I think it is not common in English. Basically, the way I see Theravada, they prefer use samadhi and also the jhana and also the jnana, prajna. So it is, I think it's more proper words if you pronounce it in the Pali. Okay, basically these two is very important in Eight Noble Paths. Okay, basically, they are the main, especially for the wisdom, it is the beginning and also it is the ending. Whereas for the 6 paramid, they are the ending, the last 2. Why? Because it shows that they are very important. And the relationship between the samadhi and also the prajna, they are closely related. Meaning to say that you must have a samadhi, then you can attain to the prajna. So these 2 things are very important in Buddhism study. Okay, so let me check. See what did I miss out first? Okay, so class, you see dhyana. Okay, it's the concentration. Prajna is the intelligence. It's a so-called. So these 2 always comes together, right? Okay, then yeah, I think I already finished all this. Okay, yeah, Mr. Leong, anything you want to say, please? On the mic, please, Mr. Leong. Yes. Yeah, on the mic, Mr. Leong, please, on the mic.
Sifu,
Yes.
regarding this dhyana,
Yeah.
to be this dhyana in this samatha meditation, where is it? And then else prajna is in the insight meditation or vipassana meditation, correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We finished the class already. Because yeah. You're welcome. We finished already the class. Okay. Okay, so we transfer merit. Okay, I got something to do actually. Yeah, please palms together. Okay. So in the next lesson, we will continue with the samadhi paramid. Okay. Okay, on the mic, please. Yeah. I wish to inculcate more favorable consciousness.
More favorable consciousness.
Through transferring merit.
Through transferring merits.
To COVID-19.
To COVID-19.
Okay, class. Bye-bye. See you for today.